All right, Shalom. First off, we've all praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Wahab Rakar Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring, in truth and sincerity, and the women and children who follow. So, just got a couple articles I wanted to go over, some recent events in the news. It says, this is from Newsweek. It says Russia tells NATO not to worry about new missiles on the border. Okay. It says 9K720 Iskander M launches a cruise missile in Russia's Leningrad region during the Zapad 2007 joint Russian and Belarusian military exercise in September 18, 2017. A spokesman for Russia, President Vladimir Putin, said deploying the Iskander missile was Russia's sovereign right. So they're going to reference that again. But that's what the missile looks like. It's a nuclear-capable missile as well. So it says Russia has criticized Lithuania's reaction to the deployment of an additional ballistic missile system to a neighboring Russian exclave, saying the weapons pose no threat to NATO Western military alliance members. Which that's not true. They should have something to worry about because they're in league with America. But anytime you got missiles on your border, it's a problem. They're not stupid, but that's the same game that NATO was trying to play when they put, troops right on Russia's border. So they really can't say nothing. Okay, it says, after visiting NATO forces based in the town of Reskla, Lithuanian President Dalia told reporters Monday that Iskander missiles are being stationed in Kaliningrad for permanent presence as we speak, and that the nuclear-capable mobile missiles were a threat to half of all European countries, the AP reported. Dmitry Peskov, spokesman for Russian President Vladimir Putin, said Tuesday that Russia had every right to place weapons on Russian soil. That's right, man. It's their country. So wherever they want to put their weapons, they can do that. That's between them and their people. Okay? You can't get mad because they put missiles in their own country, even though it affects you. The difference between what they did and what the U.S. did, the U.S. wanted to put up armaments in everybody else's country to surround Russia. Russia's doing that in their own country. So, you really can't say nothing. It says, and, we're going to get into, the double-mindedness of the U.S. here in a second. It says, I wanted to remind you that placing particular armaments and deploying specific military units on Russian territory are solely the sovereign issue of Russia, Peskov said, according to the state-run TASS Russian news agency. Russia has never threatened and does not threaten anyone, but Russia naturally has a sovereign right to deploy armaments on its territory, and that is why this should hardly be a cause for someone's concern, Peskov said. Yeah, man, why are you worried about it? It ain't your country. Did we invade your country and set up missiles? No. We basically fortified our nation, and they have the right to do that, to protect themselves. The installation of new Iskander missile systems in Kaliningrad was confirmed Monday by Vladimir Shemenov, head of the Defense Committee for Russia's lower house of parliament. He said the move came in response of NATO's own military buildup along Russia's borders. What I just say, NATO's building up military camps on Russia's borders. So shoot, they gotta dot their I's and cross their T's too. Okay, they gotta be prepared just in case something jump off. And they're able to do that, according to their border, to their laws in their country. It says especially U.S. troops in Poland, which also borders the Russian exclave on the Baltic Sea. The U.S. led military pact and Moscow revived their Cold War-era feud after Russia seized the former Ukrainian territory of Crimea amidst a political unrest in Kiev in 2014. And that was a big thing when they took Crimea. Okay, it says Russia claimed it was done to protect the mostly ethnic Russian community in the Black Sea Peninsula, but NATO considered it a violation of international law and has fortified border areas. And if you remember back then, that Crimea was a big port city, man. So it was a strategic move. It was a move for their people, and the U.S. had, pretty much invaded with their rebels just like they do everything else, and we're ready to set up a proxy right there on the Russian border. So they had to do something strategic. Okay, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That was an equal and opposite reaction. It says as a part of this plan, NATO has deployed multinational battle groups and various equipments to the 3 Baltic countries, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, along with Poland. The Russian military has previously sent Iskander missile systems to neighboring Kaliningrad, a move that the U.S. and fellow NATO members have condemned as being provocative. So that's provocative. You set up missiles right on my border, and I put missiles where you put missiles, and that's provocative. No, nigga, that's what it is. That's that double-mindedness, man. These people are hypocrites. It says any deployment close to our borders of missiles that can carry nuclear warheads does not help to lower tensions. In a spirit of transparency, we look forward to hearing more from Russia on this. Reuters cited a NATO official saying as Tuesday. So I'm going to get this other article real quick that I got. And this one's from The Guardian. Okay. And this one is dated a couple days ago, Sunday the 4th. It says, Iran accuses U.S. of shamelessly threatening Russia with nuclear weapons. Oh my God. Now, we gonna get into it. Iran accuses the U.S. on Sunday of threatening Russia with new atomic weapons after the Trump administration published a document outlining plans to expand its nuclear capabilities in order to deter others. Well, I guess it didn't work, because you did that Sunday, and look what Russia did, just a few days later. They, fortified their borders. And now you complain and talking about, you're not easing tensions. But look what you're doing. It said the Trump administration published a document plans to expand its nuclear capabilities in order to deter others. So you widening up, you diversifying your weapons, should I say? But you mad because they defending their territory. Greg Weaver, Deputy Director of Strategic Capabilities for the military's Joint Staff, told reporters on Friday the U.S. and NATO required a wide range of credible low-yield nuclear options to deter Russia from using its own small nuclear weapons. Russia saw the U.S. document as confrontational. So they seen it as confrontational, just like Lithuania seen it. But who did the first move? America did the first move. So Russia just react to it. It says, and governments around the world raise fears that it could increase the risk of miscalculation between the two world powers. So, like I said, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You want to jump stupid, we could jump stupid too. In a televised speech on Sunday, the Iranian President Hassan Rouhani said the Americans are shamelessly threatening Russia with a new atomic weapon. Rouhani, who opened the way to Tehran's 2015 nuclear deal with world powers, including the U.S., added, the same people who supposedly believe that using weapons of mass destruction is a crime against humanity are talking about new weapons to threaten or use against rivals. Right, man, that's you're an asshole. Okay, you're a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And they don't come more unstable than Donald Trump. The foreign minister, Mohammed Javad, Zarif earlier warned in a tweet that the U.S. policy risks bringing humankind closer to annihilation. That's right, man. We are closer to annihilation. Well, not this country is. You know, I believe the so-called your baby daddy ain't shit, huh? Slakia. But this country is coming closer to annihilation. What's it called? The clock, you know, the clock, the doomsday clock. The doomsday clock is, you know, ticking closer and closer every minute. You know, so I'm gonna, Lord's will, I'll put those two articles in the description. I'm gonna go ahead and get this precept real quick. Okay, it says, this is Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Now that Gog and Magog, that's talking about Russia. Okay, that's the so-called Russians today. Slakia. And say, thus saith the Lord power. Behold, I'm against thee, O Gog, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks in thy jaws, and will bring thee forth, and all thine army, and horses and horsemen, all them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all them handling swords. Now, what did we just read in the other article? It said that with Crimea, with what happened in Crimea, brought back that old Cold War mentality, and that's what this precept is talking about, that old Cold War mentality, turning their hooks back in their jaws, turning them aside to the way they used to be when they were the USSR, when they were very powerful and everybody feared them. And that's what's going on today, man. Everybody fears two countries right now, mainly. Well, I mean, you can kind of say China as well, but mainly it's the U.S. and Russia. Those are who's running things, you know, these days. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togramar in the north quarters, all his bands, and many people with thee. Now that Persia, that's Iran, and Iran, just, you know, we went over them in the last article that we did. Okay, so there's a friendship between those two nations, if you will. Okay, Iran is Russia's little brother. Iran and Russia have a lot of deals with oil, with other resources as well. You know, they trade. Russia gave them some missiles, so I believe it was S-300 missiles. S-300 missiles. So, you know, they have a partnership, as well as Ethiopia and Libya, you know, which is basically just that whole North Africa region. It says, Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is set up to, you know, to basically be the guy who beats up the big bully. You know, the bully comes and he picks on everybody, and then Russia stands up to the bully. You know, you're not going to bully my little brother around. That's why Iran and said that, you know, and that's why when the United States decided to jump stupid with Iran, Russia's going to get involved, and, you know, it's going to go down at that time. It says, And after many days thou shalt be visited, and in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel. That's it. That's really all I wanted on that one. I'm going to get one more precept real quick. All right, so this is Isaiah 13. I'm going to start at verse 17. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them," and that Medes is talking about Russia again. Okay, it says, "Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." Okay, so you're not going to be able to pay them off. There's no amount of money that Donald Trump can pay the Russians to change that Cold War mindset. You can't, because, that's what Donald Trump like to do. He like to throw money at a problem. He's the so-called businessman, the economic guy. But, you're not going to be able to pay your way out of this one. Okay, verse 18. It says, "Their bows shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children." That's right, man. Those bows are talking about nuclear missiles, okay? ICBM missiles, which they just put on the border of the Russia, which they have that can hit American soil. They got one that can, I believe it's called Satan, that can blow up a state the size of Texas or a country the size of France. Okay? Powerful missiles, man. And that's what's going to happen to this country, man. This is the judgment of Babylon. We're going to get into that in the next precept, verse 19. "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms," okay? The epitome of the world, okay? The highest stature of the world, the benchmark of the world, where everybody wants to go, where, Wyclef thought the streets were paved with gold. Everybody's little party country. It says, "The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." And we all know what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was blown away with hellfire and brimstone. Or should I say fire and brimstone? Okay, which are the two components to a nuclear missile. It says, "It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pinch tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their fold there." Okay? So America is going to be destroyed at the end of the day by the hand of the Russians. Not only by the Russians, everybody else is going to get their opportunity too to take out America. As you can see, Obadiah 1:17, it says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in them." So everybody who's confederate with you, all your little buddy countries, all NATO, they're going to all turn their back on you. Okay? And America is going to be destroyed, thus saith the Lord. And with that being said, I hope you brothers were edified. Okay? We almost out of here. Just keep pushing, man. When you feel weak, just keep pushing, man. The Lord gonna bring you through if you, if you righteous and you one of the elect, as it said that none shall fall from His hand. Okay, He sifts them as corn is sifted in the sieve, and He's not gonna lose none. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Wahab Rakar Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and the women and children who follow. Shalom.